Good afternoon, good evening. This is the Yankified podcast. So we're going to talk a little bit about this stuff about the uniforms. How do you guys feel about it? First of all, let's get a gauge from the audience. How do you guys feel about all the potential changes to this tradition that we all know and love about the Yankees? How do you guys feel about it? Because the players have made it pretty obvious. They're all for change. And my question is, why? Like, what's the pressing need? Why are you guys so consumed by things that just don't matter? That is my biggest takeaway from all this. You know what I'm saying? When Aaron Judge is looking for big, loud noises in the stadium and the music to be deafeningly loud and turn it into an NBA atmosphere, which, by the way, it's not. I mean, if anyone's been to an NBA game and go to an MLB game, that they aren't comparable. So I don't know why you're trying to compare. But first of all, that's what they want. You know what I'm saying? It's because this is the modern age, and it's like everyone's got such a low attention span right now that now they need constant like stimulation at all times. I guess that's what the players are wanting. They want music at a deafening level so they don't hear what people's conversations are in the stands. It's very strange. I don't understand it. But why are you guys so consumed by it? Why did you feel you needed to do it? Especially when the fans generally don't want it. Like if you were to poll the vast majority of fans that go to Yankee Stadium, none of them are going to be like, yes, I want it to be deafeningly loud, decibels to be at crazy levels, and I want music and stimuli and noises and whale noises and Star Wars noises at all frickin' times and Wayo and New York, etc., constantly on a constant loop. Pitch one, Wayo, like it's a constant thing. But Aaron Judge has been pushing for that behind the scenes along with his teammates, you know. So you have this, and now you have the beards, and that was really started by Devin Williams, who sucked as a Yankee. He was miserable as a Yankee. He couldn't handle the big moment. He's gone over to the Mets, and he's exactly the same. He sucks as a Met, and he can't handle the big moment as a Met. So why are we catering to him and other players that have came in here for a cup of coffee, and they're like, oh, but I want beards. I want beards. Right, I get what you want, but not, that's not what you're here for. You're not here just to get what you want. That's not what it's about. I know we're in this era of player power, and I understand that to a small extent, but at what point is there a cutoff? At what point do you cut it off and say, hey guys, do you understand what you're here for? You're not here to be relaxed and have a great time and chill. You're here for business, and the business is winning championships. That's the business that you're here for. If you're not here for that, there's dozens of other clubs you could go to that don't care. But here, the business is championships. And we have traditions here, and we expect you to uphold those traditions. If you don't like it, as I say, there's dozens of other teams you can go to. That's what set the Yankees apart. But it just seems that this modern Yankee team are so consumed by things that just don't matter. And it starts with the captain. Now, he's a really difficult person to bring up in podcasts and and headlines and things like that, because so many people are going to get instantly offended. How could you say anything about Aaron Judge? So let me first preface this by saying, as a player, he is incredibly special, right? As a player, he's iconic. As a player, he's generational, right? There's no argument about that. He stands along with Shohei Ohtani as the best player in all of baseball, and there is no argument, okay? So we can all say that. He was the rightful MVP last year and the rightful MVP the year before. No one is saying that he isn't, okay? So I have to preface this because I know that nowadays, with everybody buying 99 jerseys and 99 burgers and everyone going to the judges' chambers and everybody falling in love with him, I understand that what would be perceived as criticism towards him would mean, oh no, how could you say that about Aaron Judge? You are ungrateful, etc., etc. No. You have to separate that sometimes even the best players say dumb things and do dumb things. Okay? It happens. He isn't perfect. And I'm sorry, but as a captain, he is far from perfect. Player, fantastic. Generational. Captain, I don't like him as a captain. I'll be perfectly honest. And I'll stand on this platform and say so. I think he's distracted by things that don't matter. How loud the stadium is in terms of noises and you want the stadium DJ to be louder and you want the speakers to be in the clubhouse so that you're constantly like boom, boom, like all that. What? Why do you care? Right? And then pushing ownership. Oh, I want these. I want the blue jerseys. As a raw thing, it would be great, right? Why do you care? It just feels like under Aaron Judge's leadership, he has more power than any previous captain or any previous leader that's ever come as a Yankee. It's like he has so much power. You guys have to realize that. Like, he's got Hal's ear and he's got power over personnel decisions. He pushed for Cody Bellinger. He pushed for the Verdugo trade. He campaigned to keep DJ LeMahieu when he was about to be DFA'd. He was the one that campaigned to keep him. He has a lot of power and a lot of sway in personnel decisions. More sway than any previous Yankee in a leadership position. And it's now gone to this point now where he's using this power to get whatever he wants. Oh, I want loud noises. Oh, whatever you want, Aaron. I want the green sleeves. Do whatever you want, Aaron. Oh, I want the lettering to be different on the alternate. Whatever you want, Aaron. I want Cody Bellinger. Whatever you want, Aaron. Like, he seems to be wanting. But I have to question, what are we getting in return in terms of championships? Why are you not focused on that? Why is that not the focus? You know, you guys are wanting to get rid of a bunch of Yankee traditions, right, to modernize the Yankees. But I've got to ask, why are we catering to all this? What's the need? Why are I say, why are you consumed by something that just doesn't matter? None of this matters. Why do you care what color jersey you wear when you come up to the plate? Why do you care how deafeningly loud the music is, your music, when you come up to the plate? Why do you care? Why do you care about the length of your hair and the length of your beard? Why do you guys care about this shit? That's my biggest question. I just think that these guys, this modern Yankee team, perhaps just don't really appreciate what the Yankees are all about. So, yeah, I know that I'm definitely sounding my age here, and I appreciate that, but I also don't really care. Because I can safely say that, in my opinion, I think so many people that are younger and haven't really seen the Yankees win before, or are younger and haven't really, I don't really know what the 90s and the thousands were like and all that stuff. I think they're too quick to just dismiss what came before. Like, this era is the best, and this attitude is the best. This is the right way. It's always like, oh, I'm right. But can't there be a bit of nuance to this discussion? So there'll be people like, oh, cry more, you're old. It's like, oh, well, if you're old as a Yankee fan, then, If you're 30, 40, you're out the pasture. You're just too old. We know. We're the modern Yankee fan. We know what's best. Can there not be nuance to this discussion? Can't we have nuance such as why did Derek Jeter, Jorge Posada, Mo, Bernie, Paulie, Clemens, Pettit, Don Mattingly, Pryor, all these guys, none of them gave a flying F about how loud it is, their music, or what they're about demanding their beards, demanding this, demanding that, demanding new uniforms, demanding all this stuff. None of them cared about that. They knew what their purpose was on the field. That's what it was. They knew what the terms of engagement were. The terms were set by George Steinbrenner. God bless him and rest in peace. He set the standards. Right? He was like, you come in here, you win me a championship, and you are going to be treated like gods in New York. And we are going to give you everything you want. You're going to get paid incredibly well, incredibly handsomely. You're going to be the stars of the city. And if you're fantastic, you're more likely than not going to have a number retired and a plaque on Monument Park. And you will be part of forever. Right? That was the terms of engagement. And in exchange, I want you guys to be smart. And I want you guys to be dressed smart. And I want you guys looking smart. And that was it. And I want you guys to wear your home pinstripes and your road grays. Right? And prior generations accepted that, loved that, and appreciated it. 70s, 80s, 90s, thousands, not one of them complained about it. But it has to be this era where they're like, no, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, I want music, I want this color shaded jersey, I want this lettering, I want this length of beard. If I was the owner, I'd be like, right, you want all these things, but we can't always get what we want. I'm pretty guaranteed that there's people here going to be watching here that when you go to work in the morning, when you check into work in the morning, there's probably going to be a dress code. There's probably going to be a code of conduct, right? It's the same as every business. Why do the Yankees have to be different? Right? Every place you go to, there's a code of conduct. There's a very good chance that there's going to be like a dress code, right? Well, you're going to sit here in your job that you're being handsomely paid for, and you're going to go, no, I don't like this shady uniform. I don't like this tie. I demand that we get a new tie. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, why did the Yankees feel like they can just get rid of traditions that actually have been set for almost a century? Now, I know that the Highlanders, they had blue jerseys, but let's be honest, by and large, it's the home stripes, road grays. Now, am I overcome with like anger and all this stuff? No. I just don't really understand why this is a priority. Why is this something that the players are pushing for? Why is this something that the players want? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like the players seem to want a whole lot. And I'm getting a really big, strong sense that a lot of these players just don't appreciate what the Yankees are all about. You know? We are different from all the other teams. We just are. And that's okay. That's a good thing. I don't see why that's a bad thing. I don't see why we have to be like everybody else. We're just not. Right? We don't have 1,000. No other team have 1,000 freaking retired jerseys and all these plaques in Monument Park. That doesn't exist anywhere else. Nowhere else has 27 world championships to your name. No one else has that. We are fundamentally different. You know? No one else has the historical names like Yogi Berra, who literally made it into like mainstream language. You know what I'm saying? With like the yogiisms and things like that. He transcended the sport. Babe Ruth transcended the sport. He was like this mythical figure. Lou Gehrig, just an absolute icon. God bless him. You know, Joe DiMaggio, just another icon, another legend. And he fucked Marilyn Monroe. God bless him. Like, we're talking about guys that transcended the sport or got history coming through your freaking ears. You know, Derek Jeter, who for me is on the Mount Rushmore of Yankees of all time, right? This is the kind of history that we have. And Derek Jeter transcended the sport. Derek Jeter, for me, is along with Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and even Tom Brady as serial winners that transcended the sport and absolute icons. And they just represented everything about winning, professionalism, and being your best version of yourself every single time, and just channeling into that winning mentality and just being consumed by winning at all times. It's that just determination to win at all times. If you don't win, you fail. You know, the Mamba mentality. Derek Jeter had a Mamba mentality. And I'm sorry, just because the younger generation weren't alive to see Michael Jordan do special things, or see Derek Jeter's flip play, or Jeter jump into the stands in Fenway, or see Kobe Bryant drop 81, and win multiple championships with the Lakers. Just because they weren't alive to see it doesn't mean that it didn't exist, and doesn't mean that it shouldn't mean something for the modern era. And I think that this modern era is so consumed by being right and by being changing everything and being flashy and being on trend that you miss that there were certain ideals and certain standards that the Yankees had. And I am proud to have been on that generation, to have seen the Yankees at their best, to see 5 championships, 96, 98, 99, 2000, 2009. I've seen all that. I'm proud to have seen that. I'm proud that my very first game was with my grandfather, watching David Cohn's perfect game on the anniversary of Yogi Berra catching Don Larson's perfect game. These are the kind of things that only happen to mythical ball clubs that are just special. And that's what the Yankees are. And I just want to go back to that. But now, fast forward, we've got a new captain, we got new players, and we got a whole bunch of guys that just don't seem to appreciate what's come before. And maybe that shows my age. I don't really care, because I feel pretty strongly about this one. I don't think this is a need. Now, listen, I'm actually wearing a Navy jersey. I think it's beautiful, right? I think it's a beautiful jersey. And that's the thing, right? It's not like I'm not saying that the Navy Yankee jersey isn't beautiful. In fact, I kind of prefer it to the road grays, right? I think this is a beautiful jersey, and I think that what they wear in spring training is beautiful. I don't have an issue with what it looks like. It's nice, but at the expense of tradition, GTFO, get the fuck out of here. I'm not messing with tradition. Tradition means something. Tradition means something. I like having I like the fact that we don't have a stupid City Connect jersey. Have you seen some of these City Connect jerseys? They're absolutely god awful. The Red Sox look like the Savannah Bananas. I mean, you got some of the most ridiculous outfits. I like that the Yankees don't need to do that shit. We got 2 jerseys. You don't need any more. So that's where I stand on it. And that's where I stand on Aaron Judge. I think that he's using his power in the wrong ways. And I think that as a leader, I think he's incredibly disappointing. Because if Aaron Judge really genuinely was focused on winning, he'd be shutting this shit down. And he'd be like, hey, guys, why do you care about the size of your beards? Why do you care about what jersey you wear? Why are you concerned by these things? Hey, why do you care about how loud the music is? You've got one job to do, and that's win for the city and for this franchise that's been here long before us and will be here long after us. So just appreciate that you're here and you're privileged enough to wear these pinstripes. But I genuinely don't believe that a lot of them actually think that they're that privileged. They just think, oh, well, we're just one of 30-odd teams. We are who we are. So the fact that Aaron Judge has been pushing for a lot of these changes, he's gone down as a leader in my estimation. He really has. And you guys have to realize something here. Jeter never pushed for shit. He never pushed for power and personnel. He didn't. He wasn't in George Steinbrenner's ear going, get me this guy, get me that guy, get me this guy. He never did that. He trusted that the front office would get the job done. And by the way, if he did try and do that, George would have shot him down. He would have, because there was a strict operation. There were strict rules of business, right? So the player interfering with personnel, that's not something that happened until Aaron Judge came along. Now, I don't have an issue with Aaron Judge maybe being the last call, the last vote. You know, someone maybe going to him going, hey, we're thinking of talking to this guy. What do you think? And Aaron Judge is like, yeah, I like this guy. He's really good. Fine. But to actually go and interfere and say, no, you can't release DJ LeMahieu. He's my friend. I want you to trade for Alex Verdugo. I think that you should be getting in a bidding war for Cody Bellinger. These things, why are you consumed by that? That's not your job. You know? How about be better in the World Series? You were absolutely awful in the World Series. Are we not allowed to say that? You know, I just think that Aaron Judge has far too much power. Now he has power over the uniforms. Now he has power over your beards. And now you have your power over this and that and the other thing. Where does it stop? Because at this point now, if you get the new uniforms, now it doesn't stop. Now Pandora's box is completely open. Now you're going to get City Connect uniforms. Now you could get anything now. Where is it going to stop? Where is it going to stop? And that's the thing. What I liked was before we had some strict standards, right? Now that if you keep opening the door to more and more suggestions that are completely irrelevant to winning and purely at player comfort, where is it going to stop? Where are you going to draw the line? So I really hope that Hal Steinbrenner draws the line on this. Because if you look at a poll, I believe that Talking Yanks had a poll, and the vast majority on the poll said, we don't want an alternate jersey. We like our road jersey, right? I've seen polls where I believe it was The Athletic did a poll, and a bunch of people have done polls on do the fans like the crazy noises in the new stadium, right? The vast majority is saying no, it's ruining their enjoyment of the game. But it's very interesting that the modern Yankee player doesn't give a flying F what the fans want. It's what they want. And they seem to be getting a whole lot of things these days. And we're forgetting that they are being paid very handsomely to wear this logo. Very handsomely. But they still want more and more and more. And that's just unrecognizable to what the Yankees are about. The Yankees have always been about being bigger than the individual. That's why you don't have names on the back of your jerseys. That's why it's always been about what's on the front of your jersey. But nowadays, in the modern Yankees, it seems to be a whole lot of me, me, me. I want this. I want that. Give me this. Give me that. Heck, I want a Mercedes-Benz and Sydney Sweeney as my side piece. You can't always get what you want. So I really want the Yankees to really get themselves together here and remember who they are. The player seems to have far too much power, and there seems to be too much of an obsession about trends and keeping up with the trends and all this stuff. You can to an extent, but there are nuances, and there needs to be a kind of a stop at some point. And I think we're getting to a point where we really need to stop this and stop these players demanding all this shit. What right did Devin Williams have to go to ownership and ask for him to keep his beard? Who are you? You've been here for a cup of coffee. Who are you? Are you Mariano Rivera? No, you're not. So shut up. And Aaron Judge seems to have the whole rule of the organization. Again, who are you? I know you're the best player of the modern generation, but are you Mickey Mantle? Are you Babe Ruth? Are you Jeter? No. Are you even A-Rod? No. So shut up. Play. I'm sorry. This modern team is really difficult to get behind because of this. I just don't recognize them. What's up, Mario? Let's have a look and see what we got in the chat. And the one thing that Cashman, yeah, it's all about collecting checks. I agree. And Mario, please don't change the NY. I'll die, buddy. At this stage, I don't trust where they're going to stop. You know, if they get the new jerseys, now they've got everything else, where's it going to stop? You know? maybe Aaron Judge is going to say, I want to wear a onesie when I come to the plate. You know what I'm saying? It's all about player comfort, and I'm more comfortable that way. You know, what are you going to do? You're going to stop him? He has everything else. He has his name, he's got right field named after him. He's got a burger named after him. He's got everything. Where's it going to stop? You even got the captaincy that you didn't earn. John the Beagle Dad. This shows how freaking detached and unprofessional this team is. I agree with that completely. They will change the name of the stadium and put letters on the back of the uniform. I do think that I wouldn't be surprised if there will be City Connect uniforms. I pretty much guarantee it at some point. If Hal goes against what he said 3 years ago on the Michael K show and said that it will stay just the two uniforms, if he goes about that and changes it, he's got to look at the economics and go, oh, I could charge for a third jersey and make more money that way. Let's go. Because where's the standards? It's not about, of all the traditions that they're wanting to get rid of, the tradition they got rid of the quickest was the tradition of demanding a championship. That seems to have been the one that got quickly evaporated. Mario, Howell has made them the new Expos. That would be depressing. John the Beagle Dad, I really hate this era of the team. I completely agree. I'm sorry. And we got my man, Uncle Tats, leader of the channel. Before this era ends, we'll have a completely unrecognizable organization. They are now just another team in baseball. It's sad. That's the way I feel about it. And it did ruin my experience watching the Yankees pitch a shutout yesterday for 8 2/3 innings, because part of me was like, what has happened to this generation? What has happened to this Yankee team that I've grown up loving? They just seem to be consumed by things that don't matter anymore. Gonez, they need to appeal to the TikTok generation, and that is not us, my friend. Like Michael said, they really don't care about us. Well, that's it. And I felt a sense of powerlessness when I read this, that despite what the fans have asked for in the stadium, the Yankees have completely ignored the fans and are just going by what the players want, you know? And the majority of fans don't want a third uniform. Vast majority of fans don't want a third uniform. And but the players want it, and they seem to be getting that too. At what point are you going to completely ignore the fans? It gives you a sense of powerlessness as a fan, and it's not a good feeling. It's not a nice feeling. Yeah, I don't think Hal is getting bothered by his dad's ghost. Unfortunately, I wish it would. The Navy represents a corporate mindset, hard work, and professionalism with the pinstripes. No one says it. I agree with this from Nez. All that died with the Boston. Unfortunately, Yankees are not that anymore. Yankee Stadium is now a safe place. Exactly. I mean, where are you going to draw the line? Oh, I want this music. I want that music at a definite level. Well, I want to feel like this is a safe space. I want us to feel cared for as players. And dude, you've got the best locker room in the sport. You've got everything. You've got personal jet. You've got the best airports. You get the best hotels. Like, you're getting treated with luxury, and you're getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars to play your kid's sport. Like, it's not like this is a charity here. I mean, if I was in charge, I would say, listen, for the hour before you play, the 2 hours that you play, and the hour after, you're in Yankee mode. It's about winning. You're in the business of winning. After it, wear what you want. After those hours, like a 4 hour, 4.5 hours, after that, before that, do what the hell you want. I don't care. You can break dance. You can walk around naked. I don't give a shit. But during this period, you're in Yankee mode. And that Yankee mode is about winning. And it's about championships and upholding our legacy. That's it. Before and after, do what you want. But that just seems to be missed here. Yeah, Yankee Stadium is now a safe place. It's not an intimidating atmosphere. As Chris Northrup on our channel said, it's a corporation with cleats now. So are you going to doubt that the boss is going to look at this and go, oh, well, the new boss Junior, is going to look at this and go, oh, I can now charge for a third jersey at home jersey prices? Beautiful. We probably could do with the revenue. Because I think interest is generally down on the Yankees this year. Not because they're not a good team, but just it's down in comparison to, like, say, the Dodgers and things like that. It's just, no one's really that excited about the Yankees this year because they didn't acquire anybody this offseason. They did nothing, right? So it has hurt the bottom line a little bit. So this is maybe an opportunity for them to make it up a little. Oh, yes. The tourists are going to like it. The tourists are going to love the big loud noises. And I can sell a third jersey at home jersey prices. Why would they stop at that? How, JK, Pete, Hal is not going to say no if that's what his players want, dude. But player power is too much now. Like, why is this generation why are you so catering to these players so much? It's not like, as I keep saying here, this is not a charity. They're being paid very handsomely. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're playing for free here. They're everywhere you go, there's terms of engagement. I don't understand why that has to be, why we have to cater to them all the time. What have they done that deserves to be catered to? What has Jazz Chisholm done as a Yankee that deserves us to cater to? John the Beagle's dad, Shills accept this. I agree with this. Far too many shills out there. Mario says how Noah says how loves to roll over and say yes, we're losers. Yeah, like he's not. I think that he's purely a businessman. I think he's purely like a corporate businessman where, you know, if he's given the opportunity to say, okay, we could have a $370 million payroll and sign the best free agent in the sport, or we can have a $320 million payroll and keep things tight. He's gonna look at weighing the risk and reward, and he'll say, well, there's more risk attached to having a $370 million payroll and paying all that tax at 110% on the dollar, or I can have the slightly smaller payroll and I'm still not guaranteed the championship either way. I think that's the way that he weighs it up. He's not the type just to go, right, whatever it takes, we're going to win. And if you don't win, I'm going to get somebody else who's going to do your job. That's what his dad did. He's not like that. There hasn't been a major change in this organization in terms of personnel or on the business side at all since he's taken over. Not one change. Boone's been a manager since 2018. Cashman's been a GM since dinosaurs roamed the earth. Mike Fishman, same length of time. Gene Afterman, same length of time. A lot of the scouts, Naring, a lot of them have been there for decades. A lot of these guys have just been in charge for decades. Zillow, the media guy, has been here for decades. So there's not really any changes going on here within that hierarchy. Sean says it's not a total uniform change, and we haven't won since 2009. JKFBs, I don't think the uniform change is that big a deal. I just wish these guys would focus more on winning a ring than what they're wearing. And that's pretty much my point. Like, as I say, it's not the end of the world if a third uniform is brought in. Like, it doesn't really move me that much. It's just that the fact that they are, I think it's more the symbolism behind it. Like, why are the players getting so much power to change so much history? And that's what I feel uncomfortable about. I feel really uncomfortable about that. Why are they so focused on everything else other than winning? Winning should be the be-all, end-all. That should be their only focus this season. And at the moment, I'm hearing a whole lot of reports about them wanting to change this, them wanting to change that, and then wanting to change the other thing. Whereas I'm wondering, like, what's going on within this locker room where Aaron Boone is seemingly allowing all these guys just to be like, I want this change, that change, the other change, all these things. I want all this stuff. Is there not any kind of leadership to say, hey, this is not the time, guys? You want to have these conversations in the offseason? Have at it. But it's going to be with a fan representative. But no, it's right it's during the season, and they're like, oh, I want new uniforms and all this shit. And it's been going on for years, apparently. They've been pushing for this. Why aren't you not pushing to be wanting to be the best team in baseball? How about that? I just think that the Yankees are lost. What's up, John the Beagle Dad? What's up, Jonathan? TC Steels. They care more about uniforms, hair policy, hurt feelings, and blaming fans than actually trying to put together a championship team. And that's where I just feel powerless as a fan. This is a really tough period right now. It's a really tough period. Like, I just don't recognize this team. I just don't recognize them. I don't recognize this Yankee team. I don't recognize a captain that has all this power, that's pushing for all this change, that's seemingly not obsessed with winning. And I don't recognize having an owner that just doesn't seem to care. And I don't understand why there's some fans that are perfectly okay with it. Like, it worries me. It really does. Like, I just don't recognize this. And I'm very concerned that the Yankees are just going to become just part of the pack, which they're already heading there anyway. I recall Judge said, if I don't get paid, I will take my game elsewhere. Well, right. I think Judge has far too much power. Far too much power as a captain. And I would never, and I keep saying this, and I will say this till the cows come home, I would never, ever have given him the captaincy. You could be an unofficial captain, but giving him this official captaincy has done more harm than good. It's done more harm than good. He's won nothing at all. He's okay. Well, he's the one pushing for all these changes. Being not only is he okay with them, he's the one that's pushing for a lot of these changes. And I just like, what has he won other than some MVPs and a home run record? What has he won to demand the captaincy? That's my question. What has he won? Right? What has he won? The one World Series he turned up for, he completely flunked. He dropped an air ball, dropped a fly ball, and he was dreadful. Dreadful. He got carried to that World Series as well, by the way. Are we supposed to forget about this? This is the captain that gets all this power and has more power than any other captain before him. Does that seem right to you? You know, and I'm not dismissing him as a player. Again, as I said at the start of the show, as a player, generational. As a captain, highly questionable. So this dude that I'm wearing, you'll see, Derek Jeter, right? This dude was all about winning. He wasn't pushing for any changes. He liked the Yankees as they were. He didn't want the beard change to change. He liked it. He liked it. He completely agreed with the way that the Yankees were all about winning. And his focus every single day was being the best person of him, best version of himself, the best captain he could be, the best winner that he could be. He was everything. And for me, he was the captain. I mean, his name is Captain. He's just the captain. I don't understand why we're so quick once he retired to give that captain to someone else. Steve Cohen doesn't give captaincies out to the Mets. You have to do a lot of special shit in order to become a captain. And I just think that we were far too quick to give that captaincy nod. And we're regretting it now because Aaron Judge has so much power, too much power, and not enough focus on what actually matters. He seems to really want to be the guy that has his buddies with him and comfort. Oh, I want all these big loud noises in the stadium for my comfort and the comfort of my players. Oh, I want to wear the blue jerseys because I like it better. It's for my comfort. Oh, I want this lettering. I want this sleeve. I want. Well, why do you want all this stuff, man? Are you not just happy to be here? I don't get it. I don't get why people are so wanting to change something that isn't broken. The Yankees are not broken. As an organization, they're kind of broken right now, but as an iconic ball club, they're not broken. They're the most successful organization in the world. They transcend the sport of baseball. They're the most historic organization in sports. They have a million retired jerseys. They have a whole monument park of people that love playing them and love playing here and never once complain. You know? So that's not broken. But Aaron Judge walks in, gets the captaincy. He's like, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. And he's taking advantage of the fact that I believe that there is a power vacuum in this organization. Cashman is over the hill. We know this. As a GM, he's completely over the hill. We know this. Aaron Boone is he's not a leader of men. Right? He's there to massage egos and just keep the shit kind of going along, right? That's just who he is. Right? Hal, he doesn't represent anything. He's an absentee landlord for most of the time. Okay. At best, he just focuses on the bottom line. Okay. So there is a power vacuum, and Aaron Judge knows that he is the most marketable player in the team, the most marketable player in the sport apart from Ohtani. And he knows that everybody loves Aaron Judge. If you're a Yankee fan, right? Everyone has 99 jerseys, and everyone would fall down at their feet for him, right? He knows this. He's not stupid. He's got the Judge's chambers. He's got the 99 burgers. He's got this. He's got that. He knows this. So he has a bit of sway, and he's taking advantage of it. My question is, why does he feel he needs to take advantage of it? If I was him, I would just be proud to be wearing this, and I wouldn't be looking to change the whole damn thing. The way I view it is, if Derek Jeter's good with it, then I'm good with it. But apparently Aaron Judge has different ideas, and that's where I take issue with him. Boone is the leader of the Lollipop Guild. Ezekiel, just win. Exactly. Ownership is broken. I agree with that. Mario Jeter was and still acts as a captain. Thank you. And I agree with TC here. And it's not a popular take, but I agree with it. In my opinion, Judge only cares about Judge. You name a Yankee captain before him. Jeter, Mattingly, Randolph. You go through a list, right? None of them wanted the power to make changes. None of them wanted to do that. They were just proud to represent the greatest organization in sports. So I just question why this modern era of captain feels like he has earned the right to do so whilst winning absolutely no championships. Now, I know that there's going to be certain people here that aren't able to see the nuance in my discussion right now. They're going to view it as criticize Aaron Judge, you must be hated. Right? Because I know there's people out there that are so passionately in love with Aaron Judge. It's not a criticism of Aaron Judge as a player. And it's not a criticism of Aaron Judge as a person. It's a criticism of him as a leader. And I think it's okay to have that discussion. We should be allowed to have that discussion. And just because some people weren't there to see the past doesn't mean the past didn't exist. And I think that's getting lost right now. Just because it's new doesn't mean it's right. Okay? So just because it's new and just because the trendy thing is TikTok and flashing your ass on TikTok and duck selfies on Instagram and the new trend is to have a hot take on Twitter that's going to get you engagement and you're going to get money that way. I know that's the new thing. Doesn't mean it's the right thing. Right? So just because the new modern trendy thing is to have loud, deafening music at Yankee Stadium does not mean it's the right thing. Just because the modern thing is, let's change all these old school Yankee traditions out because it's an old school organization, let's modernize it, that doesn't necessarily mean it's the right thing. I think there's some nuance to the discussion. Exactly. Thurman. People forget about Thurman Munson. The guy was a brilliant captain. Nettles, Guidry. Did these people want to make mass changes? Was Posada consumed by what music was at the stadium? What noises, what AO was going on? Do you think he gave a flying F about that shit? You know? Bernie had his own thing going on. He was a guitar player off the field, but on the field, he was a baller, a borderline Hall of Famer. Right? He didn't walk in and go, oh, I want my music played at deafening levels at Yankee Stadium. That's not Bernie. Bernie never did that. He had his own thing going on, and then when it was time to put on that Yankee hat, he was a Hall of Fame center fielder for a dynasty. You know what I'm saying? A-Rod. Again, some people were maybe too young to see A-Rod play. A-Rod was as good a hitter as Aaron Judge, if not better in many ways. Right? He had all the power. He was a better shortstop than Derek Jeter, but when he got traded here, did he demand the shortstop job of Derek Jeter? No, he didn't. Did he make that demand? No. He had the biggest contract. Did he make any demands? Not at all. He was just happy and proud to wear the Yankee pinstripes and to try and fit in. Now, it took him a while, but he fit in. And he led us to a championship in 2009. But he didn't make any demands. He's absolutely hated for the steroids and all that stuff. But as a ball player, he was absolutely phenomenal. And he was a superstar, an absolute superstar. It was him and Barry Bonds in that era. Right? He was a superstar, larger than life superstar. He didn't demand anything from the Yankees. So why is it okay for 2026 Yankees with the Jazz Chisholms that's batting $140 with no home runs, and all these new players like, I want this, I want that, I want this? Why is that okay? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees in 2 years, under this leadership or lack thereof, are going to be looking like the Talladega Nights guys. You know? Be looking like NASCAR jerseys with freaking sponsorships just right down head to toe. We've already got the Star Insurance here. Where's it going to stop? So I really hope that Hal listens here. This is not something that the majority of fans want. Now, I do have an update on this. Brandon Cuddy does have an article, and apparently they are not going to authorize this immediately. They are going to review this, so it might not be instant. So I'll provide what I've got here. Yankee decision on alternate jerseys not imminent. Club to weigh many factors. A decision on the Yankee players' pitch to wear alternate road jerseys for the first time in franchise history. Can you believe that, by the way? For the first time in franchise, the fact that I even have to say that, the fact this sentence even exists, a decision on the New York Yankees players' pitch to wear alternate road jerseys for the first time in franchise history. The fact that this is even a conversation is absurd. But it isn't imminent. A leak source with knowledge of the conversation told The Athletic. Thank God. Hal Steinbrenner will ultimately make the call on whether to introduce a third jersey, in addition to the team's historic home pinstripes and road grays. But the owner and those around him will weigh many factors, not simply the appeasement of players. Thank the Lord that there's some kind of power here, some kind of leadership. According to the source, Steinbrenner and those around him will likely weigh the economic impact. Well, we know what the economic impact of that will be, how often they would use it, and when, but the most important thing is the appetite of a fan base that seems split It's not split. The vast majority don't want it, right? You're just being kind. It's not split, But anyway, fair enough. It seems split between holding on to Yankee tradition and bringing modernity to the club, which ditched its long-standing rule prohibiting facial hair and added an advertisement to its jersey. I don't really care about the advertisement in the jersey. I know that it gives the Yankees like $20 million of income a year or something like that. I don't know, 200. Who cares? I don't really care. It gives them some kind of money. I don't really care. The facial hair thing, again, I don't really care. I mean, I have a beard myself, but if I was to be in charge of it, I would probably say, you know, trimmed goatee, fine. Like a kind of a grizzly, kind of like fine, but a big beard, no. But I'm seeing plenty of big beards with this team, so I think they're just doing what they want now. The club also likely want to create a market, and here we go, leading up to the release of any new. Here we go. The Yankees have never worn an alternate jersey in a game. Every other MLB team has an alternate, apart from the A's, though. The Athletic broke the news that players had recently pushed to wear in games. Why are you pushing this shit? Complete with silver? Why do you care what the letters are? Anyway, MLB has already approved the jerseys, so the Yankees could use them at any time. Of course, Stan says he'd be a fan. Aaron Judge says, I'm all about tradition, but we've got a patch on our sleeves. Aaron Boone said the idea has come up loosely over the years. It's 2026, he said. A lot of teams have a lot of different uniforms. Dude, you're just you're just not it, man. You're not a Yankee manager. Oh, it's 2026. A lot of teams have different uniforms. I get it. It's 2026. Thank you for reminding me of the year. A lot of teams have a different uniform. We're not a lot of teams. We're a lot of teams now because you manage them, and where our standards have dropped to the middle of the pack, but we're kind of historically not like other teams. So at least the good news is Hal's going to review it. So there might be a chance that that doesn't go through, but you kind of know that if they're going to review the financial aspects of it, they're going to probably get it done. And whatever the players want, they tend to get these days. And I agree with TC here. I think they're a bunch of spoiled, entitled brats, every single one of them. Every single one of them. I think this Yankee organization is incredibly entitled. It doesn't mean I don't root for them. It doesn't mean that when they play in 20 minutes, I'm not going to root for them. It doesn't mean any of that. But it means that in general, this is an incredibly entitled bunch. I mean, where do you draw the line? Exactly, TC. Like, Pandora's box is open, so there'll be City Connect jerseys. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Statue of Liberty in the middle of the jersey with Aaron Judge's head plopped right there. Because where's it going to stop? Where's it going to stop? I just want to leave. I just want that to resonate. Where's it going to stop? We aren't like other clubs, whether you like it or not. Even though we haven't won since 2009, we still have to carry ourselves like an elite organization. Just because we haven't won since 2009, we can't just give up and go, right, that's it. That's it. Now we're the Marlins. Now we're like the Red Sox. Let's dress ourselves up like bananas. There has to be a level of leadership going on here and some standards. I just don't recognize this organization. I really don't, and it's sad. It's really sad. As someone that's seen them at their very, very best, it hurts me to see this, what's going on. It really does. It hurts me. You know what I'm saying? For me, the stadium thing is the most egregious. Like the fact that Aaron Judge is ignoring what the fans want in order to push this to be as loud as possible, that annoys me more than any other thing that he's pushed for. Because that means that you're just really genuinely don't care what the fans want, and this is all about your comfort. Let the game breathe. And by the way, for those that like, they're saying they want it to be like an NBA game. They're two completely different sports. MLB is a game where you allow some space between things because it's not end to end. You know, the score isn't 100 to 148. It's not like that. You can allow a little bit of time. You're allowed 20 to 30 seconds between each pitch. You're allowed to allow just a little bit of space to breathe this game. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. And by the way, there's not a better feeling on earth than when you're celebrating with the people around you a great moment in the game, such as a Judge home run or a walk-off homer or a big hit or a big strikeout in a big moment. And you can allow a natural fan atmosphere to get you excited within that moment. There is nothing better. It doesn't need to be ruined by an overzealous DJ playing an obscure pop song and then let me hear you say "whale" piped in. Like it doesn't need to be there. It's too much. And other teams have got it right. It doesn't exist at Fenway. Fenway have got it right. Doesn't exist in other ballparks. PNC have got it right. I mean, Rodon scared me when he said that, oh, it's about the tourists anyway. Why are you guys catering to tourists? Why are you guys catering to tourists? That scares me. Why are you catering to tourists? How about catering to the people that you know is going to come back? A tourist might come back once a year. The diehards, if they're enjoying the experience, might come back 3 times a week. Who gets more money that way? The returning customer. So why not cater to them? No? No? Is that not good business? I didn't even go to business school and I can tell you that's better business. So there's some things here that really worry me. I don't like it. And it makes me really sad. It really does. Makes me sad. But what doesn't make me sad is that the Yankees are on fire right now. And it would certainly be wrong of me not to mention that they're cooking and they're embarrassing the Red Sox. Henry's ownership looks really bad right now because that team looks dismal. And the Yankees are taking care of business. They're one of the best teams in terms of run prevention. They're one of the best teams in terms of starting pitching. It's absolutely amazing. Fried was great. And I fully expect Schlittler to shut him down in this game as well. And these Yankees look good. They look very, very good. I just wish that they would just focus on that. Why distract yourselves with things that just don't matter? This team's good. Let's get in there. If they manage to sweep the Red Sox at Fenway, you're making a real statement. So, you know, it would certainly be remiss of me not to mention that there's a lot to be excited about. This team looks like it could be a good team. One of the better teams in the American League East. Well, probably one of the better teams in the whole American League right now. So that's good. Let's keep that momentum. But I would certainly love our players to stop being so selfish and to start respecting the traditions that came before them. that's my wish. And it's at this stage, I appreciate that I'm in the minority with that, and I'm the old man yelling at a cloud with that. But it doesn't make me wrong. Just because it's not the popular take does not mean it's the wrong take. And I feel pretty positively that it's the take that cares the most about what the Yankees are about. So I'll leave it at that. And I think that everybody here agrees with that. Yeah, TC steals. I'm with you, Donald. Exactly. I think a lot of people in this chat completely agree. So I did ask some of the others in my team regarding this, and Chris had a really good take on this. So Chris Northrop, check her out. She says here, the captain and Stan are focused on distractions, not the goal. The goal is always win series, divisional matchups, championships. There is also an unspoken goal of representing the Yankee legacy. No other team is as steeped in tradition and history. Yankees players need to be absolute warriors to take their place amongst the greatest to ever play the game. The jersey style is an important part of that legacy. She's not opposed to the change, but what bothers her is, why is this even news? What a waste of time. And I think that was a really succinct way of putting it. And I think that the modern Yankee has completely forgotten that while they want this, I want this, I want that for comfort, what they're forgetting is the reward that would come from winning a championship. The reward is going through the Canyon of Heroes. The reward is being immortalized as part of a 28th championship more than anybody else. That's the goal. That's a greater goal than what jersey you're wearing and what size of beard you've got. That should be the bigger goal. If you become a special player, you could have a plaque right beside Babe Ruth and Derek Jeter, for God's sake, at Monument Park, and Mickey Mantle. Does that not outweigh your temporary selfishness that I want this, I want that, I want this? That should outweigh it. But unfortunately, in the modern selfish Yankee era, it doesn't. Exactly. Just because we haven't won since 2009 does not mean that the Yankees don't have traditions, mystique, and class. And I'd quite like to keep that. And the more and more we cater to the modern player that's just here for a cup of coffee, the more we lose who we are. And I'm not having that. Just because Judge is the most popular player in the team and the most popular player in the game doesn't mean that he should have more power than any other Yankee that's come before him. Because I could name dozens of Yankees better than him in history. Maybe not dozens, but certainly a dozen. Just because he's the most popular doesn't mean that he should have unrelenting power. There has to be a cutoff point. There has to be a cutoff point here. Like, stop. Remember who you are. Remember who you represent. It's not about you. Your personal endorsements with whatever company you got, that's about you. What you do after you play the game, that's about you. What you do off the field, that's about you. But when you're on the field wearing a Yankee jersey, it's about the Yankees. It's not about what you want. It's not about Drake playing when you come up on plate at deafening decibels. It's not about that. So please remember that. Please remember that. And who cares what color jersey you got? You like the blue jersey? That's what spring's for. What's up? What's up to Luca? What's up to the chat and Sir Donald? So what's up to Luca? TC Judge is a great player, but a poor example of a leader and a winner. And that I completely agree with. But We do know that the Yankees are just about to tip off to have first pitch. We wish Schlittler the best in his return to Boston, and we really hope that he shuts up all those animals that sent him death threats on Twitter. These people have no business being fans of baseball, and they should all have their cell phones revoked, and they should be arrested, frankly, for doing that. So I really hope that he shuts them down, and I don't have a doubt that he will. And best to Ben Rice as well in his return. So I do fully expect the domination to continue. There's no reason why not. And, beat up on a bad team, and that's what the Red Sox are right now. So, keep doing that. There's no reason to be negative about like what we're doing on the field. But I think it's important to take this opportunity to really remind those what the standards are here. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than you as a fan. It's bigger than you as a player. The Yankees are a class organization. They have some traditions, whether you like them or not. You don't have to like everything that you're part of, but a tradition is a tradition. You respect it, you appreciate it, you represent the pinstripes, the pride. If you win, then you get immortalized. That's a pretty good trade-off, right? Okay, so you have to wear a trim beard. Oh, you have to wear a road grays. Well, the trade-off is if you win a championship, you become immortalized, and you can go into the Canyon of Heroes and you can get a plaque at Monument Park. That's a pretty good trade-off, right? Are you watching the draft? Yes, it'll be me and my boy Rob, our former co-host. We're going to hang out. We're going to watch the draft tonight. So I'm looking forward to it. Let's go Big Blue. I actually do have a Giants hat on, and I'm going to spend the next 2 hours looking at vids of who we might draft. Hopefully Caleb Downs, maybe Jeremiah Love. Who knows? We will see. But yes, I will be watching the draft. So for everyone that did tune in, I know it's a very, very busy night. We got the Yankees, we got the Knicks, and we got Big Blue and your Jets, if you're a Jet fan, in the draft. So there's a whole lot of stuff going on. So I do appreciate that not everyone is able to watch. But if you do, what I do ask is if you hit the like button. It really helps the channel. We really do with getting the algorithm up, get more people viewing it, and all the good stuff. So please do, everyone that's watching, please do hit the like button and share it out with your friends and family and the strangers on the corner. And I, once again, do really appreciate that you take the time to watch the Yankified podcast. And I will see you again on the next stream. Peace.